Ka Hala Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Ba'ashim Rachak Kodash Yahweh, being the true name of the Father, as the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai, being the true name of the Son, as the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, along with the Holy Spirit, who taught me this truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and to the brothers that's pushing this truth in sincerity, risking life and freedom to do so. And shalom to the brothers and sisters that are listening and learning. This is your brother Labah, coming to you with another lesson in truth. I think I'm going to entitle this lesson, Crafty Counsel of the So-Called White Man, Esau Edom. Give me 1 second. All right, so you're looking at this picture right here. All right, you got this creepy Joe, right, crouching down, right, and it's spiritual what's going on. Very spiritual. He's taking a knee, like in a humbling fashion. And you see these so-called black sellouts, right? All right, some of these are these so-called Christian pastors, all right, and then just our people in general, right, completely bugged out, right? I'm gonna show you something that's very interesting. Look at behind, and this, I think this in the so-called black church, right? All right, and you see this thing at the very top, that image, right? So that's what's in our people mind and their imagination, right? As I did that lesson yesterday, as a so-called, you know, as they call this character Jesus, being a so-called white man, right? In the patriarchs out of the Bible, everybody in the Bible, all right, has been whitewashed, all right? And you see it in that stained glass behind them, and this is what is on our people mind, right? That's what they, you know what I'm saying, look up to. Let's go here. That we've been risen from the dead spiritually, in the spiritual sense. It says Proverbs 1:22. It says, how long ye simple ones. So our people are very simple minded, right? They have to be guided by the truth and by Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh Shah, right? Because they lost sheep. It says, will you love simplicity, being stupid, being simple minded, right? Being ignorant, all right? And the scorners delight in the scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Our people are allergic to the truth, right? And you see this madness right here. I'm gonna get into 2 videos, right, that show this guy, Creepy Joe, right? He gonna say some crazy stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show you for our people that just don't get it. All right, let's go here before I get into these videos. Isaiah 9:16. It says, for the leaders of these people caused them to err. Right? So our so-called leaders been set up by the so-called white man, your Jesse Jacksons, your Martin Luther Kings, all right, so on and so forth. Go down the list. They cause our people to stay lost and keep them in confusion. You got this guy Farrakhan, and they that are led of them are destroyed. So our people that follow these so-called leaders, right, are destroyed because they destroyed for lack of knowledge. Right? It has them living in ignorance, stupidity, all right, being lost, all right, being uninformed and ill-informed. Let's go here. Let me get into this video. All right, I'm getting to this first video, but I want you to listen up very closely what, Judge Joe Brown about to say.
Who was wheeled in, and they had Bird, former Grand Dragon of the Klan, and they were talking about this young man who had a stupid looking ducktail like he was back in the 1950s, was the last true yellow dog Dixiecrat. And they were talking about Joe Biden, who got up there, and when the speech he gave, I mean, I was really offended. I heard it right outside the state capitol building in Dover, which was a rundown, ransacked old house, 250 years old. And he said Negro children are like roaches. If they're,
You heard that? He said Negro children are like roaches, right? And our people are drunken, right, in the philosophy and the wine of Babylon. So check this out. All right, so this is video. I think this was maybe, let me see. This was in 3 years ago, right? So this when I think he was running for so-called president, right? And I want you to listen up to this. So you heard what Judge Joe Brown said. He said Negro children are like roaches. Check this out, right? And he got some number Jake kids surrounding him. Listen to this.
Kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping up. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping.
Now you heard that? So that's no coincidence that he said that as he's surrounded by Jake kids, so-called black kids, right? That was an inside joke. I mean, an inside thing. The people that know him already know what he was saying, and our people are simple-minded, right? They don't know what's going on, but the scriptures already warned us, right? So you shouldn't marvel at this devil and these devils just in general, right? That's a part of our people coming out of being simple-minded, right? Simplicity, right? Being dumbed down, right? Having a burning love for their enemy, you know, which would be the so-called white man. He hates you, but yet you love him. What sense do that make, right? Now people are under something called Stockholm Syndrome. Look that up. That'll be your homework assignment, right? Let me let this load up. But the scriptures already warned us about our enemies, right? And this is nothing but an enchantment. This is crafty counsel, right? The so-called white man will humble himself as he, you know, with you and he down for your cause, but yet he's plotting behind your back to destroy you in every way, form, and fashion. And that's what our people don't see, because they believe in these devils. They believe in this system. They love Babylon. They prefer captivity over being liberated, you know, with the truth. All right, let me let this load up. Let's go here. And it's heavy because everything is being revealed. Ecclesiastes, Salakia. Ecclesiastes 12, and let me, Salakia. Let me go to 10. It says, never trust thine enemy. Never trust thine enemy. Read that one more time. It says, never trust thine enemy. Who is your enemy? The so-called white man, right? And our people don't understand that. They lost sight of that. They lost sight of their own suffering in captivity. Alligator bait being lynched. It says, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Check this out. Though he humble himself, check this out. Though he humble himself and go crouching, let me show you this image. This through the spirit right here. Though he humble himself and go crouching, he's taking a knee in a humbling position. But what's going on? It says, yet take good heed and be aware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. All right. Let me read 12. Set him not by thee. So don't make no kind of alliance with this devil, right? Lest when he have overthrown thee, and that's what this devil has done, overthrown our people physically and spiritually and mentally. He stand up in thy place, neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. 13. So if you know about this devil, you know this your enemy, all right, it ain't gonna be no sympathy for you when this happens. 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bit with a serpent? All right, so ain't nobody gonna pity a snake charmer that's bitten by a snake. All right, that's a dangerous profession. Or any such as come now with wild beasts. All right. So you're not to make any kind of allegiance, all right, any kind of covenant with your enemy. No matter how good he talk and how many things he promise you and how many lies he tell you. Let's go here. And our people are completely lost, man. It says Psalms 83 and 1. It said a song or a psalm of Asaph. Keep not thy silence, O power, Yahweh. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O power. It says too, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. And that's how people rally and cry. They trying to understand why the so-called white man hate them. This is an ancient hatred through the Bible. You know what I'm saying? It says, and you got enemies. It says 3, for they have taken crafty counsel against thy people. What is one of these crafty counsels? The Democrat Party, right? You know what I'm saying? These handouts, right? So-called stimulus checks. All right, many different things they have done and they continue to do as crafty counsel, calling you black, calling you Mexican, all right, calling you under these bywords, right? Crafty counsel on many different levels to keep you lost. All right, they'll set up these so-called leaders to keep you more confused and keep you under more confusion and being lost. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Who the hidden ones? The Israelites, the biblical true Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans. All right. 4, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. All right. So they call you black, Hispanic, Native American, Jamaican, Haitian, you know, all these bywords to cut you off from being associated with being an Israelite. That the name of Israel may be no more remembered. So Israel as a people before as a place, right? So they would be cut off. You know, they would cut us off from our nationality. 5, for they have consulted together with one consent, and they are confederate against thee. All right, who is our number one enemy? The tabernacles of Edom. The tabernacles of Edom, the so-called white man, right? And this crafty, let's go to this word crafty, because they do this stuff in a very slick way. What to the naked eye you can't see. You have to have a spiritual eye to see these things. It says crafty, remember crafty counsel. It says crafty, clever at achieving one's aim by indirect or deceitful methods. Right here, I'm gonna read some of these similar words. Cunning. All right, that's the cunning hunter himself, Esau. Right? He's not just a cunning hunter when hunting wild game or whatever. All right, he hunts the souls of our people, right, and keep them snared in these different genres of so-called religion, right? It says artful, devious, tricky. It says dishonest, deceitful, scheming. I like that one because the so-called white man is always scheming on you to keep you lost, to put these social programs in place to keep you oppressed. All right, to keep you chasing your tail, to keep you in the rat wheel. All right. There's it says right here, clever, especially in a dishonest or secret way. Right? So they do these things with these different agendas, these different talking heads, these different so-called leaders, all right, to get our people deceived, right? Look at this. It's just straight up witchcraft, right? And the so-called white man has really finessed our people beyond belief. Why would you ever trust, you know what I'm saying, someone that's done all this to you? And that's cold because the Most High gonna hold our people accountable because you shouldn't have been so stupid. That's on you. You the fool. You got played the fool, right? But you get it. Hopefully this lesson was edifying. Call Allah Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rakak Kodash. Check that out. Shalom.